Today, I jumped out of bed to jump into bed because we're here at Bedgear. I am so impressed with your brand. Bedgear is phenomenal because it has revolutionized bedding. The bedding industry didn't have anything new happening for, I don't know, probably since the beginning of time, maybe since people had straw beds. What makes Bedgear different?
Well, the nice thing about what we accomplished here at Bedgear is we decided that we didn't want to be a brand first. We wanted to be a product first. A lot of companies focus on branding and marketing, and the challenge with that is that after you start branding and marketing, people start to realize that you don't really have a great value proposition. And that's where great brands fizzle out, is because they get famous for the fact that they're a brand, but they're a brand of nothing. So if you look back to our beginning, we spent a lot of time on innovating in the space. So we have 180 trademarks and patents in our name. And we did that first before we started to promote the brand. So we really became famous for our innovation first, which was products. And now we're working on taking those innovations and products and becoming famous as Bedgear for those products.
There's 5 different criteria that you actually put your product through. Something has to do with airflow, the temperature of things. Can you walk us through that, the technical reasons why your brand's different?
Well, what we've discovered is that everybody complains about temperature. They're either too hot, they're too cold. People wake up, they feel not rested when they go to sleep. And when you really look at the industry that we're in, a lot of people spend time building products that don't have airflow. So for instance, polyesters that are fused together have no airflow. The memory foam beds that are in the marketplace today, they're all made with petroleum. Well, petroleum conducts heat. Heat around the body all night with lack of airflow creates moisture. Moisture gets on your skin, and it's very, very hard to get that moisture off. So we do everything we can so that we can make sure that customers that buy our products understand the importance of how what we say airflow matters. So all of our products go through a CFM test, which CFM is what you rate air through material. So if you buy like a Dyson vacuum, you'll see that they have a very high CFM rating for a very small piece of equipment. Your air conditioning is a CFM rating. So we are the first company in the history to take all of our products, run them through airflow tests, and then we have a standard that we will not put any products in the marketplace that don't have a particular type of airflow.
I sleep on one of your mattresses. So when I'm nodding my head like this, I know exactly what you're talking about because, and I'm even sitting on one of your pillows right now. But yes, the alignment is so important.
We think this is a product that should be fit to you. Okay. Because when you exercise or you do ballet or you do whatever you do during the day that you're motivated to do, it all starts with a great night's sleep. So we spend a lot of time getting bra fit, we've spent a lot of time getting shoe fit, we get a lot of times putting on the right dress or the right jacket, but then we go and we buy a mattress on our back and we buy a pillow standing up at a local store. It's not even logical, right? So what we developed in a sales process, and we are the first company to really do this, is that we went to strong, great retailers, like a Raymore and Flanigan's, for instance, here in the New York market, or a PC Richards. And we said, look, instead of just selling a mattress, let's sell sleep. And sleep is really about the essential of our bodies recovering. And the best way to do that is to marry up a pillow and a mattress at the same time. The pillow represents 30% of your overall spine alignment. The mattress represents 70%. Now, how do I get that? I'm not a scientist, but I'm someone who's obvious, right? If I count your vertebrae from the top of your shoulders to the top of your cranium, you'll find that 1/3 of your overall spine sits just above your shoulders. So if I don't have the right pillow working with the right mattress at the same time, how could I give you 100% guarantee and comfort? And that's where I think marketing and giving all these crazy, don't worry, you'll be fine, we'll give you 360 days of a comfort exchange. It's not logical. Right. If you just sell them 70% of your comfort. So that's the two problems that we wanted to solve in the marketplace.
So it's a sleep system.
It totally is. One of the things, and you can see in the backdrop here, one of the things that we really, really focused on is that our products really are yummy when you start to use them. Like, people get it, right? They're exciting looking when you see them. Yes. And we wanted to make sure that when we partnered with the right retailers, that we created a destination within those stores to create that level of experiential type of retail theater. And
Where
so
pillow fights are encouraged, is that possible?
you don't want to grab the wrong pillow, because if you have a 3.0 and you're a 1.0,
Yeah.
because we have a sizing story, you're going to lose, because our pillows weigh between 3 and 5 pounds a piece.
Yes.
We really build a heck of a pillow.
You certainly do. And a heck of a mattress. Like the same thing, because when my mattress first arrived, it was all compressed, it was condensed, and it fits in a box, which is great for moving purposes, right? It's really all convenient. And then all of a sudden, when it opens, it's like, it's just tremendous.
Can you do that one more time?
We recorded it. You could use that. You have the rights to use that.
That'll be our new soundbite.
Yeah, Donna Drake says it does this. But then, it's just a beautiful experience. It really is. And you do offer a couple of solutions for people. Some people that like it a little more firm, or they don't. So you could go to the bed and have that experience. Or, as you said, even interactively, you have a tutorial almost that you can walk people through so that they could possibly, if they don't live next to a retail location, order through you directly.
We have all kinds of pillow testing you can take. It's called Get Your Pillow ID, Get Your Mattress ID. But then you go to the store and you can say, hey, I tested out online for a 1.0 and an M1X mattress. I'd like to now take it for a test drive. So you can go to your PC Richards or your Raymore Flanagan's in this area and go and be able to look and see what that feels like. So that's the constant, you hear these things like omni-channel. It sounds so, sort of futuristic. All they're really trying to do is provide, companies like us are trying to provide the consumer an ability to do their market research, stumble on things that they really feel excited about, it defines who they are, and then they just want to double check or triple check. So we built an algorithm, we built a whole brand promise around personalization and making sure that you get the right fit. That's the purpose of what Bedgear stands for today.
And I really do feel, though, that it's an affordable luxury. It's a luxurious product worth the investment, but yet somewhat attainable. Because, you talk about that $1,000 price point. There are mattresses when you go to a lot of mattress stores that are costing people $3,000, $5,000, $6,000, and they think that by spending top dollar, they're getting a top product. What I like about Bedgear is the fact that you also have made a good fit between the consumer, what they can afford, but actually you're giving them a tremendous value for the price. So I want to just applaud you on that. And I don't know if you really get that feedback very often, but I just want to tell you that I think makes you one of the corporations, a growing corporation that you are, that makes you relatable. And I just want to touch upon the fact that you started this company, but you are an entrepreneur at spirit. So can you give a little bit of inspiration for people that might want to start their own company?
It's a tough road for those that don't have the ability to stick with something. I got to tell you, I send out tweets all the time. I send out as much information, not just to our team, but to my network, because I get that question all the time, like what makes an entrepreneur successful? I do what you think about doing. And what I mean by that is that we all say, I want this, I want that, I want this, but not everybody's willing to just put in the effort to the point of almost either failure or the point of exhaustion, right? And that's where, people say that a restaurant opens up and they close a month, just 1 month more, and they would have been successful. It's always that little extra effort. So I think the number one thing is either you're built for that or you're not. And if you don't have that stick-to-itiveness where you never give up and you're willing to die for the cause, then you're truly not an entrepreneur, or you'll be an entrepreneur that does not have constant success, right? So serial entrepreneurship is nothing more than having the guts, not looking for the glory, really feeling it in your heart and truly having the stick-to-itiveness. The second advice I always give everybody, and it's advice that I live by, is there is no such thing, and you hear this all the time about failure, right, or fail forward. Nobody wants to fail. So the way I look at it is I've never failed. Because if you think of that, oh, I'm going to do this and I have the potential of failing, it stalls you out. You're skittish about it. You're not really sure. So I say to everybody, I'm the first person you met that has never failed at anything he's done. All I've done is discovered opportunities along the way. I look at the end result, and I don't get caught up in the middle. And then ultimately, I never really look at anything as a failure. I look at it as I'm learning, or I'm discovering opportunities. That's my little elevator pitch about entrepreneurship.
I like that. In fact, every day for me, I have this little silver plaque and it says, what would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail? And that is my go-to mantra every day. So we even are compatible in that way. I thank you so much for being on the show. I admire you, respect you. I know that you're doing so much for the community. You do so much for charitable giving. So thank you very, very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more on Live It Up. We thank you for joining us. Eugene and Donna signing off. Now we're going to go jump on some beds.